Rahul Kanwal in conversation with Khanna, because now the focus will shift on to the Prime Minister's address at the US Congress. Of course, there is a lot of deals to be announced before that, but let's listen in to Rahul Kanwal.
I want to go across now, live and exclusive, to one of the biggest friends of India here in the United States. Congressman Khanna now joins us. We're right outside the White House, where at the Oval Office, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with American President Joe Biden, and amongst the movers and shakers working behind the scenes to make this visit possible and to make it the kind of success that it's been is the man who's now with us live on India Today News Track. Congressman Khanna, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the kind of effort that you've made in trying to build the relationship between India and the US. As somebody who's played such an important role in this visit by the Indian Prime Minister, could you begin by giving us your sense of what you think is the biggest takeaway from Prime Minister Modi's state visit to the US?
Well, first of all, welcome to the United States. It was extraordinary to see almost 3,000 people on the White House lawn, and of course the galleries are going to be packed, as is the House, when the Prime Minister comes and addresses the United States Congress later today. I believe the enthusiasm for the relationship is grounded on common interests and common values, a defense interest to make sure that China doesn't emerge as a hegemon in Asia or threaten the sovereignty of nations, an interest in solving climate and solving scientific issues together, and an interest economically in partnering to make sure that our workers and our companies succeed.
I was seeing that in California, you've been facing some pushback on account of the role that you've played in trying to build the India-America relationship. Do you want to talk a bit about that, this criticism that's being flung the way of President Biden, and how he's been able to, leave what the naysayers are saying on the side and really focus on what can be done to take the India-America relationship to the next level?
Well, I have faced criticism for helping play a role in inviting the Prime Minister to address Congress. But I have the same philosophy as President Obama, which is that you talk to leaders, especially of allies, and no country agrees with everything. Of course, it's important to respect human rights, and it's important for India's own cohesion to embrace pluralism, and that is part of a conversation with India. But to have that conversation, you have to engage with the leaders and respect the leaders, and that is what this is about. So I don't think that the criticism is justified.
Also, the fact that there's been so much component around transfer of technology in sensitive areas from the United States to India. What do you think has allowed for this to happen? Is it the common threat that both Washington and New Delhi see in Beijing, which is allowing for things like the purchase of the GE 414 jet engines to go through with a component of transfer of technology, which otherwise would have been very difficult to make happen?
Well, some of us have been leading for years to have India treated as a non-NATO major partner. I've been working with Senator Warner and going to be introducing that again. I think those efforts have paid off, as is this administration, where we're getting the jet engine deal done, where India now has access to the latest technology. And India is recognizing that the Russian equipment doesn't work, so they also are more incentivized to build a relationship with the United States.
Well, it's not just the view of the Biden administration, because we've seen with the AUKUS nuclear submarine deal with Australia got caught up in congressional approvals. Now that the administration has given its consent for the purchase of the GE jet engines, do you think that there will be adequate bipartisan support on the transfer of high-end technology to India, or do you think that could get stuck in Washington's long and laborious political process?
Well, as co-chair of the India caucus, I will be working hard to make sure that it doesn't get bogged down in the congressional process. This is also why I'm introducing with Senator Warner the resolution to treat India not just as a strategic trade partner, which it is, but as a non-NATO defense partner off the rank of a Japan or an Australia. But I think people in the Congress get it. They understand that we need this defense partnership, that it is critical for India's own border security, and it helps American interests. It helps our ability to gather intelligence in Asia. It helps our ability to make sure no country emerges as a hegemon in Asia. It helps us to diversify our economic interests, not to be dependent solely on China for our manufacturing, but to have a more diversified Asian hub.
Where next to? India and the United States have made substantial progress in deepening their ties during Prime Minister Modi's state visit to the US. What do you see as being the next part of this continuing journey?
Well, I think this is going to be critical. I'm hopeful that members of Congress then will, of course, visit India. India will be hosting the G20. The president, I hope, will go there, and cabinet members will continue to go there. The people-to-people relationship is so important. We need to have more scientific research together. We need to work and have better economic ties that are actually benefiting the United States, because unlike China, we don't have a massive trade deficit with India. India is buying things from the United States. That's creating jobs in the United States. So I hope we can strengthen that, continue to strengthen the defense ties.
Congressman Khanna, for joining us on this broadcast as we broadcast live from inside the White House. Thank you very much. Thank you for the work that you've done towards building this relationship, and we look forward to seeing where things go from here. Thank you for taking out time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.